Erling Haaland is rewriting the record books in the Premier League, and while elite training gets most of the credit, there is a stranger piece of the puzzle. A roughly 6,000 calorie daily diet built around beef heart, beef liver, raw milk, and whole, minimally processed foods. While most pros lean on protein shakes and meal prepped chicken, Haaland is doing something that looks almost pre-industrial. During his debut season in England, the Norwegian forward scored 36 goals in 35 league matches. As his performance on the pitch defied normal standards, a parallel mystery grew around how he fueled his 92-kilogram frame. A typical adult requires around 2,500 calories a day. Consuming double that amount is usually reserved for extreme endurance athletes, not explosive footballers who must sprint continuously for 90 minutes. Standard club nutrition plans focus on lean poultry, light grains, and strict portion control to keep players agile. Haaland's massive energy intake clashed with the carefully calculated corporate meal prep of the modern game. This scale of consumption, designed strictly to offset his intense training load, captured the public imagination. The sheer volume stood out as a historical anomaly, triggering widespread curiosity about the physical limits of elite athletic performance. The origin of this 6,000 calorie figure is a specific moment in the 2022 documentary, Haaland, The Big Decision. At the 22-minute and 15-second mark, the forward sitting in his kitchen outlines his daily eating plan. Rather than relying on standard sports supplements, his self-reported menu centers on nutrient-dense whole foods, beef heart, beef liver, and massive tomahawk steaks, paired with raw milk, raw honey, sea bass, asparagus, and egg-fried rice. While headline-driven media outlets quickly turn these choices into a viral sensation, the original footage presents a structured, personal routine. These details represent the player's own claims rather than a club-sanctioned medical record, serving as the primary source for the entire public debate. The diet is a deliberate, heavy accumulation of real food rather than a fleeting internet meme designed to offset his massive physical output. For Haaland, caring for his physical frame starts with separating industrial fast food from what he considers real sustenance. He focuses heavily on local sourcing, preferring grass-fed cows raised on family-run farms in brine. This choice reflects a wider philosophy, utilizing the entire animal rather than relying solely on standard muscle cuts. In sports nutrition, this nose-to-tail approach serves as a direct system for obtaining concentrated nutrients. Beef liver and heart are dense sources of organic compounds, delivering high amounts of heme iron, vitamin B12, riboflavin, and selenium. These micronutrients are needed for cellular energy production and oxygen transport during continuous, high-intensity running. By framing the diet around these whole, unprocessed sources, Haaland treats organ meats not as an occasional stunt, but as a deliberate method for sustaining athletic performance. Sports nutritionists caution that this highly individualized regimen is not a safe blueprint for the general public. While an elite athlete training multiple hours a day can burn off massive energy loads, a typical adult adopting this style of eating faces serious medical trade-offs. Clinical experts warn about the high saturated fat and cholesterol levels tied to frequent portions of red meat and organs, which can elevate cardiovascular risk markers. These heavy animal proteins are also loaded with purines. When metabolized, purines break down into uric acid, raising the potential for painful joint inflammation and gout. At the same time, the structural lack of plant-based foods creates a severe dietary fiber shortfall, which can compromise long-term gut health and daily digestive function. Public health agencies also warn against unpasteurized raw milk, which routinely carries bacteria like E. coli and Listeria. For the average person, the daily metabolic output simply does not justify the systemic risks of such an extreme menu. The media headlines framed Haaland's diet as a viral freak show, but the food is only one cog in a highly engineered performance machine. His daily output relies on a constant, 24-hour system. Each morning starts with specific hip mobility drills to preserve his stride length. After training, he uses ice water immersion and soft tissue therapy to combat inflammation. At night, he wears blue light blocking glasses and tapes his mouth to protect his recovery sleep. Behind this system are the inherited genetics of his father, Alf Inge, providing a physical frame and fast-twitch muscle fibers that ordinary people cannot replicate. Shattering the Premier League record with 36 goals stems from an uncompromising commitment to consistency rather than any single food choice. Haaland's real secret isn't a singular superfood, but the relentless discipline of his entire lifestyle. There are no shortcuts to greatness. Subscribe for more sports science.